Welcome back to another Revopoint video. Today we're going to be going over some new things with our new scanner, MetroX. Fantastic scanner. So first of all, I want to bring this out. As you can see on the table here, we have our new modified tripod. Previously you would screw directly into the scanner itself, so now it's this nice platform that you can just quickly set it on and take it off, just making it faster for you when you're adjusting between scans that you're using the turntable for and when you're doing scans with your hand. But the main thing that we want to focus on today in this video is previously when we open up scan settings here, you see the you see the function full field and auto turntable. We're not changing our opinion. Auto turntable is the best way to scan a small item like this that has a lot of details, and if you want to get the best accuracy, continue using this mode, auto turntable mode. But we also want to bring out today that it's possible to also get very good details with just using the full field mode in the scan settings. You just need to do certain steps, one of which is using the tripod, making sure it's set on there, and using the turntable still, but just turning the speed all the way down. So that's what we're going to show right now, and we're going to compare the two results between using full field and auto turntable. So first of all, go to accessories, click dual axis turntable settings, turn that speed all the way down, because this is going to eliminate that motion blur. Normally when you're using full field mode, you might get some motion blur, and that might affect the accuracy just because of human error. But right now we're eliminating that because we're still using the turntable and we're turning that speed all the way down. So it's all the way down. Let's switch this over. Well, I want to show you this too first of all. When you do switch it to auto turntable, notice what happens in the preview screen. So the auto turntable mode, it's perfect. It has the item as how you're viewing it. It's set on the tripod and you see it perfectly from the angle that it's resting on the turntable itself. But notice what happens now if I switch it to full field version. So it tilts it, which is understandable because typically when we're using full field version, what's the case? We normally have the scanner in our hand and it's vertical. So that's an easy fix. Just hit this button right here and adjust the camera angle. And now you see it in the preview screen how we're actually seeing it. So perfect. So there we go. Let's try, get your distance right of course. And now we're in full field mode. Adjust the exposure. Seems like 10 is a good choice. High accuracy, feature tracking. Start scanning. And we're just going to let it rotate once around. Pretty much there. Let me just pause it to make sure. Yeah, we got a full 360 of it. Great, so let's complete that. Run it through Fusion. Make sure that your point distance is turned all the way down. That's just with fusing the point clouds. Honestly, looking really good. Let's clean it up a little bit, pick up the isolation. Apply, and then let's mesh it. Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, looks really nice. The detail of his armor picks up all the grooves quite well. the accuracy and detail is there. And again, this is using full field mode, but it's due to certain steps that made this possible. Obviously, if I would have picked it up and used my hand and not used the turntable and just tried to rotate around here, wouldn't have most likely would not have gotten this result because it's adding human error into it. But we use the tripod and we're using the turntable and we turn the speed down and it gets a great result. So in the second part of the video, now I'm actually going to show you the other mode with auto turntable and we're going to scan this item and compare. Okay, so now we want to try out the other mode. We just did full field mode and now we're going to switch it to auto turntable. But in doing that, you want to make sure you put your sticky pad on the turntable itself because in using auto turntable mode, the angle is going to be adjusting on the dual axis turntable. So make sure your item is fastened securely. Select that auto turntable and we are going to do a new scan. Give the software a moment, new scan. Adjust your exposure a little bit. Previously we did it at 10, seems like a good choice for this one as well. So now we just need to go into the settings under auto turntable mode and adjust this. So when it comes to counterclockwise, clockwise, that doesn't matter too much. We can just keep it at counterclockwise. Rotation interval, so pretty much just how the degree of how much you want the turntable to twist every single time when the scanner snaps the shot, about between 1 to 3 frames. We're keeping it for speed-wise 25. So the first rotation, it's just going to be level, 0. For the second rotation, I'm going to adjust it. And make sure you click these for how many rotations you want to do. So I'm going to do a full 3 rotations. For the second one, let's turn it up to 20 degrees. So that's going to turn it 20 degrees one way. And then for the third rotation, let's turn it to negative 20 because that'll rotate it the other way, 20 degrees. And that should give us a good result. So again, why is this still the best way? Again, it's taking out human error and it's pausing it every time. So previously when we were using full field mode, because both these are using full field blue light, it's the same scanning system. But with this now, it's stopping, and instead of it continually capturing the item, as the turntable turns, it's not scanning at all. Then when it pauses, it captures 3 frames. It snaps 3 frames. Then it pauses again, turns another 10 degrees, and it captures another 1 to 3 frames. And that's what really helps you get that excellent accuracy, and of course how it tilts. So you're allowing it to get it from all these different angles. So now that we have the turntable programmed, let's give it a try and see our result, and we can compare the two. So yeah, as you can see right now, it just turns a little bit. That's what we set in the settings. Turns 10 degrees, pauses, the scanner snaps a shot, captures about 1 to 3 frames. It's going to go all the way around, and then the scanner is going to pause again, and then it's going to tilt to that 20 degrees. Do the same process, then tilt back to 20 degrees the other direction. And you might be wondering what these little squares are on the home screen, on the preview screen. That's just simply, you'll see it in the end, it'll make more sense later, but that's pretty much showing you where the actual, if the scanner were on the screen here, where it is in relation to the model that you're scanning. It'll complete a really nice clear picture later that you'll be able to understand more easily. flat, 3 rotations. Captured it really nice and full. Let's complete this. Oh, let me just zoom this out for you first of all for you to see what I was talking about with all those little squares. So again, the squares represent where every time the turntable stopped and the scanner snapped a shot. So you can just kind of imagine the scanner in all these different spots getting the angles of the toad. All right, let's complete it now. Yeah, it's cool when you zoom it out. All right, run it through Fusion. And again, advanced, point cloud, distance all the way down. So we're already seeing, wow, looking at the details on that just after fusing the point clouds. Really looking good. Let's move to some isolation though and detect that, clean it up some. We can also use our tools on the side here to delete this. Because I adjusted the angle of the turntable to 20 degrees on that one side, it captured some of the bottom of the turntable. Here we go, this is a better way to do it. Delete. Beautiful. All right, moving on to mesh. So there we have the result of our Chinese toad. Look at the details on this, on his back. See all the warts on the toad's back, these coins and the details it's bringing up. And again, this is the auto turntable mode. So I mentioned earlier we were going to compare the two modes, but really what would be best, let's do a comparison now of this and then continue using auto turntable mode, but just switch the modes to full field mode. So right now, you see the result. That's auto turntable mode. Let's do another scan and try with full field mode. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have our two scans, full field mode, auto turntable, but what's not fair in comparing the two is that they're two different models. So now we're going to do another scan of the toad itself in full field mode. So keeping them on there, let's do a new scan and change the mode to full field mode, and then we can accurately compare the two. So again, let's switch it over, full field. And again, it's twisted, so just make sure you correct that, and you can recenter it. Adjust the exposure, keep it at the same, 10, looks pretty good. And we already have all the settings. We should, now on here, just make sure in the settings that the speed is still turned all the way down, which it is on the dual axis turntable. Full field, high accuracy, feature tracking, general object, rock and roll. Pause it. Yes, we got all the way around there. Great. Let's complete it. Do some fusion. Make sure again, point distance is the same. Looking pretty nice. But that's one thing you can see why it's better to use auto turntable, because there's some spacing there without the turntable actually changing the angle. You get some holes, but that's okay. Let's clean up the isolation, detect it. Okay, so there you have it, full field mode. I mean, it looks pretty nice, but let's pull up the auto turntable mode result of the Toad, and you can look at both of them on the screen. Check it out. So for our next challenge for MetroX, some of you in your comments have mentioned that in using Auto Turntable that possibly you can't get something that's under 10 millimeters in size. So we have a good example here of a dime, half dollar. The dime is definitely under 10 millimeters. So we're going to put these both on the turntable itself, and we're going to scan them and see how the results are in picking up the dime. But of course, because they are shiny, make sure you put some scan spray on them. You gotta kind of just get it just right. Not too much, not too little. Let it dry a little bit. And when picking it up, of course, make sure that you grab it from the side. You know, you don't want to right away rub off what you just sprayed on there. And we have the glue tags already on the turntable itself, and we're not going to be covering up any of the marker dots. Place them on there. And you want them in the center. All right, let's try it out. So for settings, I just want to show this to you. We have it right now, rotation interval. When we just did the Toad, it was at 10. It was turning 10 degrees every rotation. Now we adjusted that to 5. It's just turning 5 degrees. The speed is still the same, but we're just going to be doing one rotation, and it's going to be turning 30 degrees this way. And with that, we should be able to get an excellent result. Exposure set at 1. Again, auto turntable, high accuracy, marker tracking. Let's give it a try. All right, there we have it. It's completed its rotation. As you can see, we zoom out. You see all the frames that it captured. Pretty cool. Now, let's see what the results like. Complete it. Views. Again, point distance. Keep it at 0.10. Already looking really nice after just fusing the point clouds. Let's pick up the isolation. See if there's even any overlap. None. That shows you how accurate it is. Moving on to mesh. And the drum roll, here we go, man. I mean, so there you go. There's that dime. Can even see the lettering. Looks really nice. But this is a fun little trick. If you go to display, and you go down to model properties, this is kind of cool. So right now it's default, it's already set to this blue color and glossy. Let's switch it to metallic, apply, and then you really can make out everything on there. Like you can actually see the lettering, United States of America, 1 dime. And of course the $1 came out just fine. So impressive. So it can be done. For those of you who are concerned, 10 millimeters and under, no problem at all for MetroX. Hopefully this video is helpful. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.